What's up everyone, it's Hannah. As we begin more college content, I am moving tomorrow, so obviously a thing I consider to be very essential, even though I'm literally living in a tiny ass room with 2 other roommates. Books. We need to bring some books to college. So these are going to be the books that I am bringing to college. So I'm a very firm believer in the fact like what you read is representative of who you are. So like what you have on your bookshelf represents like your values and everything. So for these books, we are going for like an intellectual, studious vibe. Like we are creating like the epitome of student with these selection of books, okay? First up, we have Hood Feminism, Notes from the Women That a Movement Forgot by Mikki Kendall. I have not read this one yet. It has a very gorgeous spine. It has like just a nice feel to this paperback. I'm not bringing any hardcovers. Those are just really heavy and take up too much space. It looks good both on the shelf and in your hands. If I read this around campus, I might be able to strike up a conversation with a person or two. I can gain some insight because this is women's studies. This is like intellectual. This is learning. This is growing as a person. This is a book I will be bringing to college to make people think that, yes, I am intellectual. I do read books like this, even if it is only once in a while. I am a connoisseur, okay? Another book that I will be bringing to college, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. This one has more of a matte finish. It doesn't have the same feel as this one, but this one's also, it gives off that artsy feel. This is another book written by a person of color, so we're giving diverse, we're giving accept. This is also queer, so queer literature, we are accepting, we are intellectual. I have read this book. The first time that I read this one, it took me like 2 weeks. I started it and then I like didn't pick it up and then I finished it. But because this is told, like any story is told where you add things as you're telling a story, you go back and forth, it isn't really told in chronological order. I think if I ever do pick this up again, it would be to read it in 1 or 2 days or in like just sit down and read it fully to just really get the whole entire experience of reading this book. It's a gorgeous book regardless, but if I were to read it again, I would try and like sit down and just read it fully. I feel like that way I would actually be able to wrap my brain around like what is happening in this book. I would want to just do a little more literary analysis on it. So I will be bringing this to college. This also has a gorgeous cover and it has all my tabs from the first time that I read it. So it shows that I actually do read these books. I feel like this will be my evidence that I am in fact a reader. And then finally, we have Citizen. This is also a book written by a woman of color, just like Hood Feminism is. This is about being Black in America, being a Black woman. It falls under like poetry and essays. It has won a lot of awards for poetry, and in fact on the inside there are like images. And I read this for an honors American literature class in school and it blew my mind. The first time my lit teacher ever complimented me was my analysis about this hood and the reason that this part itself, the hood itself, is glossy and has a reflective quality on how that could be, you are in the hood, you are able to like step into a Black person's shoes in America. There is so much analysis to be done about this book, and I really don't think that you can ever stop learning. Each time you pick up this book, there's something new to be discovered. There's some new, like just the paper that this is printed on is not even standard paper. There's a meaning. This adds in with themes and the motifs of this book itself. So really, this is something that I adore and I cherish. And it's not that big, so I will be bringing this with me to college. Citizen, An American Lyric by Claudia, one of my favorite books, and I urge everybody to read it. This is like an auto recommend. If you're looking for a book, pick this up. And then because I am the epitome of the duality of man, I can both be the girl who's gonna drop out of college and the mom friend. I can be both things, and I really want my bookshelf to reflect those 2 sides of my personality. So I will be bringing this final book to really just tie this bookshelf together, to tie this mini collection. Who is Hannah? First comes Scandal by Quinn. I really think that this random white girl in a poofy gown holding a flower really just shows, it adds a punch. It really is like Hannah, like all these other books are like so big brain, intellectual. What is a Bridgerton prequel? This isn't even the first book in the prequel series. This is the 4th book. Why are you not bringing the first book in the series? Really, you gotta keep them on their toes. You know, you really just have to be like, yes, I can engage in critical thought and discussion with you on books like this, but I can also sit down and enjoy this. So I'm showing people that I am both intellectual but laid back, and I enjoy a good time. I don't know if this is a good time considering that I've never read it, and I also probably won't pick this up until I read book 1 through 3. But you know, if people see me around campus one day holding this book and then one day holding this book, I'm gonna be in their memories. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, why is that girl's like reading taste so eccentric? I'm all over the place. I'm not emotionally stable. These books, opposite sides of the spectrum, really just drives that point in, okay? I have a good selection. I have books by women of color, queer people of color, and then we have our token white straight character. With that said and done, those are going to be the 4 books that I'm bringing to college. To recap, we're bringing Hood Feminism, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, Citizen, and First Comes Scandal. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay fresh, and I will catch you next time.